Hi, this is Jake here, and I'm in France at my mum's property, and I've just come outside because my mum bought this EMF reader, and I'm doing a few running a few readings on this. So I've come away from the modem to see what the reading is when I come outside, and you can see now an EMF reader is an electromagnetic frequency reader. And you can see that away from the modem it gives a reading of 0.0001. So I'm going to test a couple of other devices and see how it compares on this scale. Now I've just moved inside and it's a bit dusty in here, so my mum's been getting some work done and everything's covered in dust sheets, but there is dust everywhere. But I'm about a metre away from the modem, and you can see the reading has shot up to above 2. And if I just move this on top of the modem, it jumps up to about 400, 600. It's fluctuating around 400. Okay, I'm going to show you my MacBook Pro now. And just to point out, the sensor on this device is just here. So I move it around and it gives different readings, but it seems strongest over this side next to the screen. And you can see that the reading is about 50. Okay, this is the iPhone 10. And it seems like this reading is strongest right here where you'd place your ear if you're making a phone call. And the reading is up above 400. It does spike as high as 1,000, and it does go higher when there's a call or a VoIP call being received. But you can see the reading is still very high as what we're getting from the Wi-Fi modem. Now onto the AirPods, Apple AirPods. And they're currently off, just sitting on the table. You can see that the reading is up at about 70, so still quite high, not actually activated. And next I'm going to try see what they're like whilst they're being used. Okay, we've put the phone onto aeroplane mode now, and we're just using Bluetooth, and you can see the reading is going up above 1600 on the AirPods. So just put the airplane mode on and take it off again, Darian. I want to see whether it was just a matter of the position.
So now airplane mode is now off.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like just the strongest part of the reading is right at the bottom of the AirPod. So you can see we're still getting readings of 1800, which is
insane.
More than 3 times higher than what you got on the phone. So the AirPods are extremely high readings. Okay, Darian has connected his Bose in-ear noise cancelling headphones, and they're wire connected. So let's see what reading we get using this.
I haven't pressed play yet, and I'll press play now.
Okay, so it looks like the reading is consistently below 0. And in fact, the reading we've got of 0.1, 0.2, I think is probably picking that up from the phone, just what the phone is transmitting into. So there's almost no EMF reading coming through on the headphones. Okay, Darian is wearing his smart watch now, and you can see with the reader pointing directly at the side of the watch, you're getting a reading of 85. And the sensor is really sensitive. If we move it slightly, we have had readings above 100, so not as high as the iPhone, but bearing in mind that this is on your skin for most people 24/7.
And for those who would like to know what brand it is, it's a Garmin, and it's a Vivo Smart 4.
Earlier this this month, an appeals court in Italy ruled that a telecom worker who had developed a tumor in his ear got that tumor from using his mobile phone. It's the 6th time an Italian court has affirmed a causal link between brain tumors and cell phone use. Joining us to discuss this case and its implications is Daphnia Tachover. She's an attorney with the Children's Health Defense, the leading organization against the nation's battle against the wireless industry. She led a Supreme Court case in Israel, which actually led to the first limitations on Wi-Fi use in schools worldwide. And she's also the founder of We Are the Evidence, a group that protects the rights of people injured by wireless technology. Thank you so much, Daphne, for coming on. Now, let's talk about the precedent that this sets. This court in turn, Italy, said that the studies that were provided by the defense, right, which said that there was no causal link, were mostly funded by the wireless industry itself and should therefore be given less weight. How significant is this precedent?
Well, it is significant, but it's not the first case. It's actually the Italian Supreme Court that already established the same findings in 2011 or 2012. So this is, as you said, the 6th court that confirmed the same findings. There is a causal link between cell phone use and cancer. And actually, the type of cancer that telecom employee had, it's called acoustic neuroma, which is a tumor that is being developed on the hearing nerve. Our own government, the National Toxicology Program, it's our expert agency in deciding what is toxic, conducted a $30 million study, 10-year study, funded by the by the Food and Drug Administration. The results of this study came out on November 1st, 2018, and they found clear evidence that this radiation is causing cancer. What's interesting is the type of cancer that was found to be caused by this radiation by the NTP study. It's a cancer which is developed on Schwann cells, which are cells that surround, with a cancer on the nerves that surround organ. One type of such cancer is the acoustic neuroma that was found to cause the cancer from cell phone to the telecom employee. So we have evidence, but by the way, our government, when the results came out, said that, well, that study does not apply to human. That study also found that this radiation not only causes cancer, but also breaks the DNA in the brain. And nothing that this study found is new. We had more than ample evidence of cancer and DNA damage from numerous other studies.
Now, when it comes to that National Toxicology Program study, which we have covered on this program before, like you said, it was $30 million. So it's actually the largest and most expensive study to date about the effects of wireless radiation. So why is there a discrepancy between public policy and the published peer-reviewed science? Because even an organization like the ICNIRP has actually dismissed that NTP study's findings. Like you said, they also say that that study's findings do not apply to humans. So why do you think there's such a discrepancy between the science and public policy?
Well, corporate control. Actually, the court in Italy addressed the issue of ICNIRP specifically. ICNIRP is an industry control organization that sadly the World Health Organization decided to adopt the recommendations when it's come to cell phone and wireless use. And you're not going to be surprised to learn that the World Health Organization, the head of the EMF project in the WHO, is a wireless industry-funded person. And the World Health Organization, the IARC department, which is responsible for classifying carcinogen, classified in 2012 cell phones and wireless radiation, including radiation from cell phones, cell towers, Wi-Fi, and smart meters, as a 2B carcinogen, as a possible carcinogen. And IARC decided that it's only a possible carcinogen and does not get a higher classification because while they do have enough epidemiological studies that showing a correlation between increased use of cell phones to increased rates of brain tumors, they do not have enough animal studies. So now we do have the animal study, the NTP study. There's another study which is called the Ramazzini Institute study, a study from Italy, a €6 million study that found exactly the same result as the NTP study. And nevertheless, there's no change in policy. So unfortunately, those organizations around the world that are responsible to protect public health are mitigated by corporate power and money. including the FCC in the United States government, the Federal Communication Commission, is responsible to regulate this topic in the United States. The FCC is headed by Ajit Pai, who is a Verizon attorney, Brendan Carr, who has been the CTA, the Wireless Industry Lobby Association, and other members of the CTA are basically connected to the wireless industry. So those who are responsible and entrusted with protecting the health and safety of the people and the children of this country and around the world are basically controlled by corporate power and money.
Now, I want to reiterate something that you just said for our audience, because it's very significant. Because a lot of people, especially in the U.S., they may not be surprised to hear that the FCC has conflicts of interest with industry. But this actually goes all the way to the top, because the ICNIRP, which has been accused of conflicts of interest in the past, and which this Turin court actually affirmed again, has conflicts of interest, is actually the entity that's setting the so-called safety guidelines that the UN's World Health Organization adopts. So that's very significant. Now, you're bringing a lawsuit against the FCC to expose its disregard for public health. What can you tell us about that?
Correct. So in the United States, the FCC, although it is not a health agency, was appointed by Congress in 1996 to regulate the health and safety of wireless technology. Clearly, it failed. Already in 1996, when they adopted those guidelines, they were already obsolete. In 2012, the General Accountability Office in Congress said that it makes no sense that the FCC did not review its guidelines for 17 years. So in 2013, the FCC opened a docket for public comment, and on December 4th, 2019, that docket was closed, and the FCC announced that there's no evidence that this radiation is harmful and there's no need for review. By February 3rd, we have to submit a lawsuit against the FCC. This is the first opportunity in 23 years that we get to sue the FCC and the government for its fraud on the people on wireless harms. So we'll bring this lawsuit, and we hope to get the public support. We are looking for donations. Please go to Children's Health Defense website, choose Stop 5G, and help us bring this lawsuit against the government. Thank you.
Daphna Tackover, thank you so much. You can read more about her work, like she just alluded to, at children'shealthdefense.org, and you can also support that legal team at that same website. Thanks again.